and welcome to Catalan News in today's special edition for International Women's Day. We're here in the centre of Barcelona, in the Passeig de Gràcia, where behind me you can see Gaudi's La Pedrera in what is expected to be the biggest feminist demonstration in the country. And today's Women's Day is unique in itself because of the general strike called, with people taking to the streets in order to demand gender equality in the workplace and without. And here's also the perfect place to say that our team is actually made up of half women, and without them it wouldn't be the same. The effects of today's strike has been felt not only here at Catalan News but throughout many sectors, including the health sector, with about 85% of hospital workers on strike according to unions. Yet this protest is not only happening here in Catalonia.
Women across the globe have taken to the streets in force. The reason? Because even in the 21st century, gender inequality continues to be rife worldwide, throughout all levels of society. And in Catalonia, women took part in the country's first female strike in conjunction with International Women's Day. The centre of Barcelona was filled with thousands of women protesting for equal rights. While some trades unions called for a 2-hour strike, others were committed to doing it all day long.
Hem sortit al carrer per reivindicar la contínua capacitat d'assolir una societat amb justícia, una societat amb igualtat i una societat amb plens drets per les dones, amb el món del treball i fora del treball.
The official strike was called by the March 8th Committee, named after the date chosen for International Women's Day, as if one day was enough. More than 300 organisations have signed up to their manifesto.
Estem fartes de totes les opressions i de totes les agressions que vivim en el nostre dia a dia i per tant hem decidit aturar-nos perquè volem parar el món.
In Catalonia, the day began with disruptions. While feminist students attempted to cut off one of the country's major roads, in Barcelona streets were also blocked and public transport was interrupted. At peak times during the day, the city's metro ran at 50% of its usual service, while trains also significantly reduced their frequency. With roughly half of the population entitled to strike for their rights, what more can be expected? Without women, the world grinds to a halt. Even public television and radio got in on the action, broadcasting 50% of their usual programming. Many university classrooms were also left empty, as both students and teachers exercised their right to protest. In primary and secondary schools, one teacher for every 6 classrooms was required. In Girona, around 2,000 women formed a human chain, calling for an end to inequality between men and women. One thing is certain though, despite widespread support for the cause from both sexes, there is still a long way to go.
Thousands of people have taken to the streets today in several marches across the country, and our reporter Alan Ruiz Terol was at a march earlier today in Barcelona. He managed to speak with some demonstrators to learn a little bit more about why they are protesting today.
You can hear it right now. Sense les dones no hi ha revolució. Without women, there is no revolution. This is Plaça Universitat, the very center of Barcelona. As you can see, there's thousands of people marching right now. Most of them are high school students, some are university students, but there's also a lot of older people as well as a lot of men. Some of the chants that people are singing, apart from the one we already referred to, are "Don't look at us, just join us." We also see a lot of signs, for instance, one reading, "Some of us are missing. They are the ones who got killed." Or, "In my body, I decide, and you shut up." We indeed talked to some of the people who attended this rally, and this is what they told us.
Because I want to defend all women's rights, and I think we are all the same.
We came here to defend women's rights and that we deserve equality.
We are here to show everyone that if women stop, the world stops.
And that we are not only bodies, and we are here to show it.
Okay, so I have decided to come to the march basically to fight for women's rights, but also make some clearance about our religion, because many people have understanding that in our religion men have more rights than women, but it's not like that.
We came here because we want to defend the gender equality and our women's rights.
We want to have the same payment, the same possibilities, and we don't want to be scared coming at home at night because we know we can be attacked and we can be raped.
It's what Emma Stone said in one of her speeches, "If not now, when?" So I think that's why every woman is coming out today here to fight for the rights that we should have had since long ago.
And I think that we have to be here also for the ones that are not here today because they are being murdered.
Women should not be murdered or killed for men just because they believe they are better.
To fight for what we think. We don't need to stay at home and just think our thoughts. We have to be brave and go to the streets.
Because we are women and we believe in our rights.
Yes, we want to defend our equality because we are no less than any man or anyone.
We have rights too, and to fight
for women rights.
Yeah, for women rights in the same way the women before us fought as well. So we want to follow the path that they were building.
Of course, because I am a woman, okay? I'm not different from any other woman, all right? I need respect. I need to be sure, like walking along the street without fear, be free, without being afraid that anyone is going to hurt me.
In conjunction with International Women's Day, the Catalan Women's Institute, part of the Catalan administration, is launching a new campaign in order to create more gender equality throughout the media sector in the country. As it stands, women only make up 27% of news programme screen time, according to the organisation. But this initiative aims to change all that. Veos que no veos, or Voices You Don't See in English, wants equal representation between women and men in the currently male-dominated Catalan media. In a statement, the publicly funded Women's Institute said that androcentrism and patriarchy are the main causes of inequalities and of sexist violence, asserting that it's a reality they must combat. This organisation also wants to eliminate sexist stereotypes. They highlighted that feminism is not just the realm of females, quoting the Nigerian writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, stating that we should all be feminists. In order to better understand this campaign and the reasons behind it, we speak now with Núria Ramon. She's the Executive Director of the Catalan Women's Institute. Hello Núria, and thank you for being with us.
Hello.
Why did you decide to focus on the visibility of women in the media in this year's campaign?
Well, the Catalan government, through the Catalan Women's Institute, has decided to put the focus of this campaign on the visibility of women in the media because it's the revision issue in the Commission of Status of Women that will take place next week in New York, and we'll be there. And in addition, in recent times, different social initiatives and movements have shown the lack of visibility of women in Catalan media, which represent about 27%. So I think it's clear that it must be a social and political priority.
What is the overall situation of women in the workforce? Are there any specific areas of concern?
Well, there are still many gender-based discrimination in the workplace, and unequal distribution of housework and care, penalization of maternity in the professional career, etc. We have many women with higher education who arrive at intermediate or executive position, but the presence of women in management spaces is still lower. So we have a lot of work to do in this area. And I think also that combating the wage gap must also be one of the priorities as a government and as a society in general.
What are the most important policies for gender equality operating now in Catalonia? And more importantly, what else needs to be done?
Well, for example, the Catalan Women's Institute is promoting a training plan about gender equity that provides training for different groups in order to incorporate the gender perspective into public policies and also strengthen the circuits of sexist violence. At the local level, for example, there is an important network of services of information addressed to all women, coordinated by this institute. And at the level of companies, for example, an intensive work has been done in relation to equality plans, for example. And I think during the next years, it's necessary to complete the implementation of the law of effective equality between women and men that currently has several articles suspended by the Spanish Tribunal Constitucional.
Thank you for being with us, Ms. Ramon.
Thank you very much.
As we mentioned earlier, this year's Women's Day has been stronger than ever with the general strike that was called. But what are the reasons behind it? Although all political parties are vowing to create more gender equality in the country, their specific measures are limited, and figures show that there's a long way to go.
Women get paid 24% less than men in Catalonia, and only 9% of working women are in a managerial position. When they retire, their pension is 40% less than men's. These figures are some of the reasons why a lot of women followed the strike and took to the streets today. The gender pay gap in the country is still relevant. The organizers of today's protest call women to strike not only from working life, but also for household chores and care work at home. Barcelona's mayor, Ada Colau, emphasized today the need not to undervalue these tasks.
Que sense les feines imprescindibles de cura, de treball domèstic, de treball de la neteja, sense aquestes feines el món no funciona i l'economia s'ensorra. Per tant, o s'escolta les dones o ens encarregarem de que l'economia s'aturi i les coses comencin a canviar.
All political parties have shown concern for the situation of women in the country and expressed their commitment to close the gender pay gap.
Des del Partit Demòcrata donem suport a aquesta mobilització, treballem per la sensibilització i creiem que avui és un dia excel·lent també per reivindicar-nos des de la política.
In fact, they all included the fight against gender equality in their manifestos ahead of the Catalan election last December the 21st, but specific measures are scarce. Far-left CUP and right-wing People's Party coincided the need for more labour inspections to guarantee equal wages. Meanwhile, Junts per Catalunya and Ciutadans both propose a unitary pact for equality. Today's protest not only focused on women at work or at home. Other issues in the spotlight of the demands include sexist violence, sexual harassment, and the feminization of poverty.
We're coming to the end of our show today, and as you can see, it's starting to get dark, but there are still thousands of people out on the street singing and dancing and shouting. And to be honest, the atmosphere is quite festive. There's music, there's sound systems going down Passes de Gracia. So to finish today's show on the big day for women, where people are protesting for equal rights, which is still a big issue, even in 2018, we leave you with some images of today's actions that took place in the city. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.